The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they'll go on the ground. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Partner, it's not often that I expect running backs to eclipse 100 yards in back-to-back games, but he left 100 way behind last week. I think he's going to do it again. I'm expecting 150 or more.
And last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. So if he does what you say he might, maybe he'll get another one.
Yeah, I think he's locked in.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And they'll run it here. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now back to throw. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that...
And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
So it's third and long, and you know this is going to be a pass. So defensively, they're bringing an extra defensive back and just blanket the field. And this is an ill-advised throw right here as it winds up being picked off easily.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Not
How
only
did
was the
you
call
drop
spot on,
that?
how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight.
That
He was
wasn't
trying
good
to force it in there on
defense.
third
That
down.
was
But
just
if there's a time to force it, he felt
receiving
like he needed to make a play,
incompetence.
right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's third down. On third down, that's Marshall. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hand?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's the second time.
How about
Hi,
that
O-line.
with the so-called
You
little
actually
guys
do it,
putting
Tom.
the pressure on? That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. And the Steelers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
Oh, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job to limit.
Yeah, they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. Incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he fends him off. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and
smile.
shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Pittsburgh, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Eight sacks.